The divine right of kings is something that's been debated on these islands for centuries. And does anyone have the right to rule? And where did the divine right of kings, and how did you know someone was a king? Well, actually, the Most High God, Elohim, Yehovah, he changes people that are kings that he chooses. He removes the genetic iniquity, the sin, from them, and they start to develop into the original form of humanity. They develop horns, wings, and other stuff. So on these islands there was battles going on between the Christians and the Dan tribe, and the Dan tribe eventually got overthrew the Christians and became Catholics, and the divine right of kings was ruined. But if you read the old writings, if you can get your hands on them, for instance the saga of King Callahan and Lady Moore, it tells that there is individuals who are kings who look totally different than the rest of us. King Khan had a red face, a red hand. You see the red hand of Ulster, or the red hand of Cork. Basically, that's the king saying his hands reach to both ends of this island. That's why you have the red hand up the north and the red hand down the south. But down the south, it's on the Cork football team. They removed the thumb. So basically, you're looking at a man on these islands who went by many different names, but they called him the Red. He usually has the red at the end of his name, or in his name. For instance, when the Norman was being sarcastic, he would have been very old by now. He was saying, the little red fox. Alexander of Scotland, Athelstander, Attila the Khan, Ethelstan. Yeah, he said, will you get the little red fox to come out from his hole? But he was being sarcastic because it's the red, what they call the devil, red, and the wolf of Benjamin. Benjamin will lead. Now, at some point in the future, there's going to be a rising of kings. And when God makes a king, he changes them physically. He said, well, let's go by what Psalm says. There will you cause my feet to be like hinds' feet. There will you, on Psalms 132, it says, there will you cause David's horns to bud. There will you cause them to soar like eagles. So you get different looking feet, horns on your head, and eagles. So if you look for images of King Cyrus, he was the one who the Lord chose. And the Lord also says he will prolong the years and the life of the king as many generations. So here in Ireland you had something called an honour price, and it was enforced for 4 generations. If the clan broke rules, that certain rules in Gaelic culture, in Gaelish culture, so you have the gules on the churches carved in, the Gauls, the gargoyles, gargoyles. They have horns and stuff. So if you go back as far as Alexander the Great, he had horns. It's on his coins. If you go further back, the kings had wings. If you go further back, they had horns. So the further you go back in history to the beginning of Adam and Eve, the description of the kings that the Most High chooses, they're physically different, because over the years we've become weaker, sicker, iller, thicker, retarded human beings because of idolatry and heathenism. But on these islands is where the battles were mainly fought against. This is where God came against the Most High's people. These were the Isles of Elijah. Elijah is the prophet. what they're called the oils of Elijah. It's supposed to be Jesus. Jesus went up, Abba, Father, and Elijah stayed down, and there was a conversation. He went up to the Father. Abba is Hebrew for Father. So you have to Google stuff, images. Google images of King Cyrus, and you'll see he has wings and all. Google images of the devil, and he has wings. It's the description of King David in the Bible. Everything's been hidden from you. The reason why they call him that is because he burns down temples and subdues nations on behalf of the Most High. Some point in the future, 11 tribes are going, 12,000 men from each tribe of Israel is going to be sealed, except for the tribe of Dan on the forehead. An adamant harder than flint on your forehead, anointed. That's how they're anointed. That's where the crown comes from. The anointing, the fully developed, the angelic intellect to rule on behalf of the Most High. What angelic intellect? As a king, above nations, above their people. The king, none of the kings will come from their people. The people are democracy. The least form of governance. The Most High doesn't settle for the least form of governance. He wants only the best, so he anoints a king and gives him angelic intellect. He becomes more superior in intelligence. He's superior physically as well, because he has wings and stuff. And he lives longer than everyone else. Cyrus could be King David, ruling from Babylon. Ezekiel could be Alexander. It's all different names from different tribes at different areas, but the same individual who lived for many generations. The prophecy of Agur in the Bible in Proverbs, Ucal and his son Attila